My experience of Mostar and Bosnia? Well, there was the amazing bridge and the amazing old town. Soon after that I went to Sarajevo, but never forget the Bosniaks told me to get a bus instead of a train. The bus takes 45 minutes, a train 1.5 hours, as slow as I am. Well, I love the train, but it was delayed for 3.5 hours. It's really a good memory from Mostar to Sarajevo, and especially about Mostar. Then is the Mostar derby less to worry about, isn't it? A torn city between two ethnic groups, a derby that hasn't been played between 1938 and 2000. This is the rivalry between HŠK Zrinjski and FK Velež. Welcome to Rivalries Around the World. I'm your host Pudi. First, my apologies for pronouncing my Slavic or former Yugoslavian or Bosnian or Croatian language, as you can imagine. So, don't shoot the messenger. We are for the first time in the Balkans, the most complicated part of the entire Europe, especially when you start about politics. Bosnia-Herzegovina is an amazing country with amazing hospitality, friendly people and amazing food. Yeah, some delayed trains. Mostar is in number the 6th city of Bosnia and is the capital of Canton Herzegovina, Neretva, a relatively small city with a disturbing recent history. But first, let's see where the clubs have their grounds. Mostar lies in the southern part of Bosnia-Herzegovina, exactly between the capital of Sarajevo and the Croatian city of Dubrovnik. The population is around 105,000 people. Zrinjski's ground is the western part of the city in the canton of West Herzegovina. The Bejligom Stadium, or HŠK Zrinjski Stadium, it is an all-seater venue with a capacity of 9,000 seats. It was all standing before with 25,000 places. It is the second largest stadium of Bosnia and former tenant was rival FK Velez Mostar. Talking about Velez Mostar, if you cross the river Neretva in the canton of Herzegovina Neretva, in the north you find the stadium of Rodeni with a capacity of 7,000 seats, and it was newly built soon after the ceasefire during the Civil War in 1995. Okay, let's go to the clubs. We check that in the... Forgive my pronunciation, for some characters in Bosnian Croatian alphabet is very unfamiliar for me. First, FK Velez Mostar, established on June 26, 1922. The Mostar suburb of Severny logo as RSD Radnički Sportski Club or the Workers' Sports Club. Later the club has been renamed to FK Velež, named after the nearby mountain. The mountain got the name from the old Slavic god. The club is seen as the Workers' and the Communist Club and has a multi-ethnic origin. We should hang out sometime. The nickname of the club are the Rodeni, also known as the Born. Club's crest is a round circle with a yellow edge. In the circle you find the 5-pointed red yellow star. In the pointed star you find the letters RSD, the original letters of Radnički Sportski Club. In the center you read Velez Mostar and a yellow football. Underneath you find the year of foundation 1922. The red stands for the communist and workers' ideals of the club. The club's colors of Velez home kit is no shocker, full red shirts, shorts and socks. The away shirt is white shirts, shorts and socks with some red accents. The club has been successful many times during history. The club pre-World War II area was successful, but the top flight was after the war and during the Yugoslavia Republic. The bad years were during the Civil War and post-Civil War, where Velez played first separated in the ethnic league. After the new Bosnian League was established for all ethnic groups, Velez even relegated in 2003 and promoted to the highest tier in 2005. The club is pretty successful. Several runners-up in the pre-Yugoslav area, but they've won the Yugoslav second league 2 times. After Yugoslavia breaks apart in the first league of the Federation of Bosnia-Herzegovina, they won the title 2 times. Twice they won the Yugoslav Cup. Some famous players of Velez are Enver Maric, Dusan Bašević, Franjo Vladic and Fahid Halilovic. What about HŠK Zrinjski? Excuse me, it took me throughout the entire video of this episode to pronounce this name, so sorry, I'm trying. HŠK Zrinjski Mostar is established in 1905 as Daski Sportski Club, or Student Sports Club. The club name is a thing. It renamed many times. Let's find the club Daski Sportski Club. Let's rename it to Gimnazijski Nogometsky Club Zrinjski, after the noble family of Zrinjski. Shall we rename our club to HOSK or maybe, or let's call it Herceg-Bosna? Let's rename it back to Zrinjski. And 90 years later, they renamed the club in HŠK Zrinjski, also known as Hrvatski Sportski Klub Zrinjski, also known as the Croat Sport Club. Also, boxing, basketball and handball are a part of the club. The club's nickname is the Plemici, also called the Nobleman, because of the noble background and royal Catholic background of the club. The Croat background you also find in the club's crest. The crest is a round logo with in the center a checkered banner of the red and white, and it refers from the Croat flag. Below you read the Zrinjski and the foundation year of 1905. On the edge you read Hrvatski Sportski Klub Mostar, Croat Sport Club Mostar. The club colors are full white kit with red elements and a red diagonal band. The away shirt is full red with some white blue elements. The checkered banner reminds me of my provincial flag of North Brabant. Post-World War, during the political changes from the fascist background to a communist, Zrinjski was banned from football. Croatia was seen as a puppet state during the Second World War, and during the Tito years, Croat clubs who were openly royal religious, Catholic background or a fascist background or collaborate with the fascists has been banned during the communist times. The club reinstated during the Bosnian independence in 1992 and played mainly between 1992 and 2000 in a Croat separate league in Bosnia. After a newly reformed Federal Bosnian League, Zrinjski made the first ever appearance in an official recognized league since 1945. In the relatively new formed league, Zrinjski Mostar can be seen as the top flight in this Bosnian Premiership. They won the league so far 6 times, and 1 time they won the Bosnian Cup. Some famous players of Zrinjski are Mario Ivankovic, Blas Sliskovic and Slaven Musa. Intriguing clubs, but it gets more interesting if you look into the rivalry. We see that in the... One disclaimer, I know this section can be a bit sensitive for some people, but I try to be objective as possible. Okay, let's go to the rivalry. Main reason to look into this rivalry origins, you can avoid the ethnic and demographic differences, and especially when the civil war of the former Yugoslavia is involved. But long story short, different ethnic groups living in this part of the region, like the Muslim population when they got the origin from the Middle East during the invasion of the Turks or the Ottoman Empire, and the Croats having their origins in the Austrian-Hungarian Empire and being Catholic. The first Yugoslav kingdom was established until the Nazi occupation. Croatia claimed to the region for an independent Croatia and joined the Nazis as a puppet state. After Tito came with the partisan Red Army, liberate the region, everything came under communist control. All clubs with predominantly religious or royal background and collaborate with the Ustasa regime liquidated the clubs as a punishment in 1945. This also includes football club Zrinjski. After the Bosnian independence in 1992, Zrinjski's fans saw the opportunity to re-establish the club, but soon after Bosnia-Herzegovina turned into armed conflict between ethnic groups, Croats, Muslims and Serbs until 1995, until that ceasefire. After the Dayton agreements, entire Bosnia was divided in a patchwork of 3 ethnic enclaves and regions. I experienced that when I took a train from Sarajevo to Budapest. Never I had to show my passport so many times. So, off to Budapest. Passport please. Oh, okay. Passport please. Huh? Again? Passport. Again? Passport. Are we there yet? Are we almost in Hungary? Passport please, you're entering the EU. After the Civil War, the Croats, the Serbs and the Bosnians compete in a different kind of league in Bosnia itself. To participate internationally, the UEFA advised to have a joint league. The Bosnian Premiership was born. And so, after 55 years, the two teams Zrinjski and Velez face each other for the very first time. Mostar was the center of the armed conflict between 1992-1995 between the Bosnian Muslims and Croats. Actually, the front line went through the city, including the famous bridge Stadia Mosque. The old bridge was blown up. Both sets of fans, Zrinjski and Velez, even fought each other on both riverbanks. Mostar is a very divided city. Nowadays you can basically say the city center's west bank and the east bank of the Neretva is Muslim Bosniak territory, the canton of Herceg-Bosna Neretva, and the west Mostar suburbs and the entire west bank is Croat territory, the West Herzegovina. On the west bank you find the mountain Hum with a cross on the mountaintop referring to the Catholic background of the Croats. On the east bank you find the text Volimo te BIH, we love Bosnia-Herzegovina, and you find the blue-yellow flag of Bosnia all over the place. so many different ethnic groups live throughout the city, thus giving the people little reason to unite. For example, Croats living on the east bank of the river refuse to move to the west bank. Normally, demographically, a regular derby is a class divide, as you can see with these clubs. Velez is a workers' communist club with multi-ethnic origin, while Zrinjski is a middle class or educated elite origin. But the divide is, as you can imagine, in an ethno-political and ethno-national context. The Zrinjski with its Croat and Catholic roots on the one hand, and Velez with its Bosniak and Muslim background. Several decades later doesn't mean everything is fine. Regardless, there is a stability in the region, or somehow stability, because the UN is still there is still a divisive situation ethno-politically, especially on national holidays from each ethnic groups, or the derby itself when two football clubs meet. The frustration of the war and permanent polarized situation of the young generation erupts during the derby. From FK Velej's side, it caused extra bitterness when they visited the ground of Zrinjski. The Bridgegom Stadium was actually Velez's original ground from 1958 to 1992. Velez has been expelled from the ground after the peace agreements. Both teams have their fanatic ultra groups. From Zrinjski you have the Ultras Mostar and the Velez, the Red Army Mostar, referring to the background of both clubs. While the Velez fans are a bit more open-minded, the nationalism is sometimes from the past and only erupt on Derby Day. The Derby is just a reminder of the armed conflict. However, the Ultras Mostar of Zrinjski even have a far-right fans and keep the fascist ideologies alive prior to the Derby. You see swastikas, graffiti all over the place, and nationalistic signs and chants during the game. Okay, we just had the sensitive part. Well, I'm not sure about it. Why do you think that? We still have the story section. After 55 years, the two teams met each other in the first joint Bosnia Premiership, but it opens old national wounds and they regularly clash each other off and on the pitch in the abusing chants, animosity and fights. The first ever match in 2000 was played in a neutral venue in Sarajevo. A friendly duo, by the way. The match ended in 2-2. In 2011, during the Bosnian Cup tie, Zrinjski's fans climbed the terraces and invaded the pitch to confront Velez players, who had scored a decisive goal in extra time. Velez players fled immediately the pitch, avoiding getting hurt by numerous objects being thrown on the pitch. In 2013, the police arrested 30 fans of Zrinjski who had been banned by the club as they tried to attend the match. There are many safety measures to keep everything in order. For example, like bubble matches, heavy police presence has been deployed, the away fans are told to meet at a point in the city and are directly driven to and from the stadium by the police in buses. And away fans are always arriving 10 minutes later in the venue to avoid confrontation. Despite the safety measures prior and after the game, there are still disturbances between the fans. The local authorities are the entire day, including the night after, on high alert to contain the violence. We finished the sensitive part? Okay, let's go to statistics. Although the Bosnian Premier League is in 2000 and the league is relatively new, there were meetings in the pre-World War II era. So far, there are 52 matches played in 1922. Zrinjski won 28 times, Velez 17 times. 7 times it ended up in a draw. Zrinjski's biggest win was in 1931. They won 5-1 from Velez. Velez's biggest win was 4-1 in 2003. Final whistle. Wounds heal after time, but opens again during the Derby Day. This derby has high elements of passion, fights and deeply rooted sense of nationalistic feelings, which makes it special and different. Given the way things are at the moment, it is very unlikely that the Mostar derby will lose its nationalistic and ethnic aspect anytime soon in the future. I really hope both groups find each other in a peaceful way in the future and look to the different players play for both clubs. This can be a right example and a right sign. However the tensions might be, it is also an excellent mix for a perfect derby day. The derby with raw edges and gives an extra dimension if you look at the intriguing past. Again, I hope those raw edges will be less sharp. This is a very long marathon on the Mostar derby. What do you think of this rivalry? And do you know another innovative derby or rivalry with those same raw edges and that deserve more attention? So post them below in comments. For now, I thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and see you at the next rivalry. Bye bye.